Alright, it's Middle Class Matt from don'tbuythehype.blogspot.com, and I am Sports Genius. Last week had a good week in picks, finally. I always want to be at 75%. For the season, I was probably more like 2 out of 3 on average. I was 12-4 last week, which is a good week. But overall, I was 165 wins, only 90 losses. So, not so bad. And that's not counting the tie game. But 165 right. So I did pretty well for the year. Now I'm going to try it out in the playoffs. Last year I killed it in the playoffs. On my blog I have it up there on Don't Buy the Hype, and I was 9 of 11. 9 of 11. The ones even that I got wrong were like the miracle pass from Tebow to beat the Steelers, which was like just ridiculous. So I hope I can do. If I do that well this year, I will be ecstatic. I'll be so happy. But that's going to be really difficult to top. And playoff games are so difficult to pick because any team could win. And even some of them that I got right last year, like I picked the Ravens to win, came down to one play against New England. So it's just tough. But let's start out with the Cincinnati-Houston game. This was a game I had a tough time picking. I'm going to go with Houston with this game. And I think that they are the better complete team. Defensively, they've had injuries this year, and I really feel like that's hurt them. So that's why it was difficult with the team with a better record, and they're at home, and Houston's been such a good team all year, always been top 5 in the power rankings of most NFL polls. But it's really difficult for a slumping team that's had injuries to all of a sudden pick it up in the playoffs. But I still think they're going to be a little bit better than Cincinnati. They beat them badly last year in the playoffs, and I wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati wins, but Cincinnati's still young, still has a young quarterback, and they're on the road, and they're playing against a very good team, and J.J. Watts is going to be coming after them. And Cincinnati's quarterback has allowed himself to be sacked quite a few times. The red rifle has gone down quite a few times, and some of it's his fault, some of it's the offensive line's fault, but Watts should be able to get to him. So I'm going to have a decently close game. 24-20, Houston wins that one. Next is Minnesota-Green Bay. I thought this was the easiest game to pick. Knowing my luck, I'll miss it because I thought it was the easiest. It's the one that everyone wants to talk about. But last week, Minnesota slipped by Green Bay in a very tight game at home with everything to play for, win or go home. And trying to get Adrian Peterson, who's a motivated man, trying to break the all-time rushing record after his ACL injury. They had everything to play for. And with that, they can only win by 3 points. A lot of people just think wins or losses are losses. They just say, oh, well, they won. Then they've got to turn around and play that same Green Bay team at Green Bay with less to play for. So I got Green Bay winning because I think they're the better team. And actually, I picked them before the season to go to the Super Bowl, so I'm going to kind of stick with that, see if maybe I can get that right. It's a long shot, but we'll see. The better quarterback, I think Christian Ponder's going to struggle. Adrian Peterson is going to have a good game, but he's not going to be in the dome. He's going to be out there in that cold weather. And Green Bay's the cold weather team. Minnesota, it plays in a dome. So I give the advantage. Home team, their surroundings, better quarterback. That usually is a recipe for a victory in the playoffs. Like I said, Minnesota barely beat them last time. So I'm going to have that game 34-24. So that's going to be my biggest margin of victory for the playoff games. Next is going to be Indianapolis at Baltimore. Now, I'd love to pick Indianapolis. I'm tempted to. I think Andrew Luck is as good, if not a better quarterback than Flacco right now. I think he's that good. Struggled a little bit at the beginning of the season, but by now I think he's just as good of a quarterback. And then the whole Chuck factor, Chuck Strong. But I think they played for Chuck all season. He came back, and then they won that game for him. Now they're playing football more just to win football. The Ravens, on the other hand, are playing for the great leader of men, one of the greatest leaders we've seen in the NFL, Ray Lewis. So I think that's going to give them advantage. They're at home, and I see them slipping by. Well, not slipping by. I see them winning 30-24. So less than a touchdown, still less than a one-score game. But I still think the Ravens win this game, even though they haven't played really well at the end of the season. They haven't been the team they were in the first half of the season. Next is Seattle, Washington. Another difficult one to pick. But what I'm going to go with is that I think Russell Wilson and RG3 are equal quarterbacks. I think that Russell Wilson's a better passer, and in the long run and in the playoffs, that can pay off. Now, RG3 is the more explosive runner. Not that Russell Wilson can't run. He can. He's a good running quarterback too, but I mean, RG3 is like Michael Vick type fast. I think Seattle's defense is better than Washington's. I think they'll be able to put the clamps on RG3, and they're used to playing against him. And I love their pass rush. The only thing about this game is it's at Washington, and Seattle has to do the west to east coast travel, which I talk about all the time. That gives you jet lag. But still, I think Seattle's the better team. It's going to be a close game. 30-27 Seattle. They win in a close one. This one is a coin flip. I see either team winning, but in the end, I think Seattle's just a better team, and I have to pick them, even though I think Washington's hot. So, this is Middle Class Matt, and I'll see you next time.